Hey everybody, just wanted to do this video because I know some people are concerned that we are no longer doing advocacy work, which we are. It's just the big packages, the full packages, the 1,500, 1,000 and the 750 packages that we are no longer doing after the 30th of August. From the 1st of September we will have restructured, and it'll be more down a individual service route with case management in between if that's what people want to do. And I also want to make it clear that it's not about a certain case, it's not about a case taking too long, it's not about an individual package, nothing like that. It's mainly because it's, how do I put it, we are aware that people think we're too cheap and that because we're so cheap we must be rubbish. We are aware that some people think them packages are super expensive, but when you actually break them down and see the kind of work and hours that goes behind them, they're not super expensive, and we don't actually earn a living off them packages, which is another reason what we needed to restructure. Now I set up at SEN Education for All, right? I set it up to be accessible to as many people as possible. I set it up to as many people as possible. I didn't set it up to become a millionaire, earn loads of money and have a easy ride, and I put a lot of hours into what I do every single week. But what I can't keep doing is doing that and having to combat the fact that people think I'm cheap because I've done that, so I must be rubbish. Or on the flip side, people constantly having a go at me saying I shouldn't be charging so much money for advice around a statutory process that should be handed, that kids should get anyway. So as a company we are doing what is best and restructuring how we work with the package, removing the packages and having the single services and the case management for those that want to do it. Obviously any packages that are bought between now and the 30th of August will all be delivered, and you'll get all the support you need like you would have done if it just means that they'll become a legacy package rather than something that we continue to offer. So it'll only be offered, you'll get your support, and once that's over, that package is finished and it's where it should be. That'll be the end of that. But we won't, whether that takes 6 months, 12 months, as it always has been, the same criteria and the same conditions still apply if you pitch slim packages in the meantime. I just wanted to let everybody know that we were coming away from that way of working. So if anybody did want to get a package in before we stopped doing that because that's what they wanted and that's what works best for them, I was giving you an opportunity to do that by telling you that we are getting rid of them. I think with having the profile I have, I do find it really, really tough and difficult sometimes when people are making assumptions about me. I can't win. I'm either too cheap, so I must be rubbish, or I'm too expensive and I'm a money grabber and I am rinsing parents in an awful situation. And it's that side of the stuff that really, really gets to me. And I know people say to me, you shouldn't let it get to you, but I'm here to help people, and that's all I want to do. I want to help people. Yes, I've got to make a living so I can survive. I couldn't ever do a full-time job as well as help people in the capacity that I do, because it's just not feasible. I already put anywhere from 60 to 100 hours a week into what I do without anything else on top. And it's not even just the work directly with clients, it's the background work that goes on, the looking at evidence, the sorting everything out, the filing of things, the putting together of appeals. It takes a lot more than you think. Just compiling the evidence, putting it together, making sure you got what you need, answering emails, answering inquiries, putting together the webinars, sharing what I do in the little videos and the posts with the pictures and stuff to give you little bits of information here and there that I can, and then the webinars with the full information, putting together platforms that I can, like the religious support, so then people can access the information and a wealth of information when you need to do it. And I do work alone. I don't tend to work with other people. We have thought about working with other professionals, but that's another area that I really struggle with, because I tend to find that I give a lot and don't get a lot. But that's another thing. So yeah, I just wanted to come out and outline all that. At the end of the day, what we're trying to do is the longevity of us as people, because at the end of the day, we're here to fight and all of that, but we also need to be in best peak condition, mental health, etc. wise. And when I have to constantly deal with that flip of I must be rubbish because I'm too cheap or you're too expensive and you're rinsing parents, that really does affect my mental health wise. So we're trying to find that middle ground where people are settled and happy with what we're doing, can realise that we're not ripping parents off, and just because I'm not charging extortionate prices or anywhere near the levels of quite a lot of other people are, doesn't mean I'm rubbish at what I do, because I'm not a person who shouts from the rooftops about what I can do. I'm not a person who takes... I struggle with imposter syndrome, and I struggle with accepting my own ability, and I struggle to see myself as a professional. However, as much as I struggle with all that, I do support parents, and we do get what children need, and that's what matters. So just because I don't sit here and shout from the rooftops everything we've done and how great we are like a lot of other people do, does it mean that we're not? I'm just a lot more understated, I think, than a lot of people, if that makes any sense. I'm great for everybody else, just not myself, is what I would say. Anyway, I just wanted to address that, because I know some people are panicking it's because of their packages and their cases, and I found that tough. That's not true. Or some people are worried that we're no longer doing advocacy. That's not true either. We are still doing advocacy, we're just not doing the full packages. We will still do individual services and case managing and meetings, all of that still. We will not be offering tribunal representation ever again. That's just not worth my mental health, if I'm quite honest. But I'll help and support parents and prep parents so then they've got everything they need to be able to represent themselves. But yeah, and when I say it's not worth my mental health, it's because doing too many at once is too much of a drain and takes so much off me. So, and it's very, really difficult to limit how you do and what you do. So for example, I couldn't just say I'll do one a month, because if it's adjourned or things change, it could end up being on the same week as another one, which I've had done before, and that's when I start to really struggle. I am neurospicy myself with a very complex profile, and I have to keep that in mind as well, but I'm still here battling on as I do every single day to support everybody I possibly can. And I think my battles personally help the way that I support others as well, because I'm really good at being attuned to how our kids struggle, because I struggle like that myself. I'm not saying I know all and everything, because that's not true, and I firmly believe that nobody in this world knows everything, not even in their career path, not even if they're the top professional in a certain career. There is always something new to learn, and there's always a new way of doing things, and there's always new things being discovered. So it's also accepting that we do progress, we do learn, and things change, and that's a very, very big thing that's going to happen across our education system and across how we support SEN and across people's rights, etc., with what they are proposing. So we've also got to accept and be open to the fact that we are constantly growing, and we're constantly changing with the changes to ensure that we're still in the best possible position to do what we can and give it all we can to help everybody we can.